Welcome to Devotions from Israel, a 5-minute word of encouragement. Today's passage is Mark chapter 3. Even a casual reading of the four Gospels would help us understand that Jesus was a very popular itinerant rabbi. He primarily served here in the Sea of Galilee area, a freshwater lake about 13 miles in length and 7 miles at its widest point. It was most likely somewhere on this western shoreline of the Sea of Galilee where many people gathered to see him and to hear him speak. After all, they already heard about his miracles, what he had done on behalf of the Galileans. So they gathered here, as Mark chapter 3 tells us, out of curiosity. Chapter 3, verse 8 tells us this: When they heard about all he was doing, many people came to him from Judea, from Jerusalem, Idumea, and the regions across the Jordan, and around Tyre and Sidon. Because of the crowd, he told his disciples to have a small boat ready for him, to keep the people from crowding him. For he had already healed many, so that those with diseases were pushing forward to touch him. Whenever the impure spirits saw him, they fell down before him and cried out, "You are the Son of God." But he gave them strict orders not to tell others about him. So Jesus was a very sought-after rabbi. Now, there were others with a messianic following in the first century, but no one like Jesus. Mark chapter 3 continues. Jesus then went up to a mountainside and called to him those he wanted, and they came to him. We're not sure what mountainside this might be. There's certainly some small hills on the northwest side of the lake. But also on the western side is Mount Arbel. Perhaps it was somewhere on the slopes of the cliffs of Arbel where Jesus called his first disciples. He appointed 12 that they might be with him and that he might send them out to preach and to have authority to drive out demons. These were the 12 he appointed: Simon, James, John, Andrew, Philip, Bartholomew, Matthew, Thomas, James, the son of Alphaeus, Thaddeus, Simon the Zealot, and Judas Iscariot. From 26 years of pastoring, I came to the conclusion that there are two types of believers. First, there are the types of believers who ask the question, "What's in it for me?" They come to be served. And yet another set of believers who ask the question, how now, after I've been redeemed by Jesus, how can I serve God and others? You see, Jesus calls each of us by name, just as he called these initial 12 disciples somewhere on a mountainside along the shoreline of the Sea of Galilee. But he called them, and he calls us, for the purpose of encouraging us to serve. Now, I also find it interesting that at the end of Jesus' life, after his resurrection, he meets his disciples on a high mountain. Could it be the same Mount Arbel where Jesus initially called these 12? But this time Jesus was meeting them to encourage them to carry on with the work of the kingdom. We are called by name to be servants of God. Be encouraged, my friends, because God wants to do great things in and through you. Until next time, shalom.